Good morning, my dear friends. It's another one of these little editions of It Is What It Is, brought to you by yours truly, me. And today's question that was asked was, how important is rank in martial arts? Do you need rank to be good in martial arts? Do you need rank to be good as in a fighter? That question revolves in two different formats, and I'm going to answer it to you because this has been asked not only by students, by friends, by people that comment, send messages, is how good are you for your rank? Okay? Does mean being a black belt in one system equivalent to being a black belt in another system and style, and guru here would be the same as guru there, and professor of Savat meaning the same as professor of jiu-jitsu, and all that stuff. Master of capoeira to a professor of Savat to a sensei. Well, let me tell you all. Ranks in styles, ranks in systems. Some styles and systems have had ranks for over 50 years, over 60 years. Okay, Savat has had glove ranks since 1880s onward. They have changed, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that because of what they represented for each one and some the ranks and so on and so forth, right? Now, some federations have removed certain ranks. It's up to the federation. Some federations have removed all of them. Well, regardless. Okay, now we're going to go into ranks, like say Kempo. Are the ranks in Gaju Kempo the same as ranks in Parker Kempo, the same as the ranks of Chinese Kempo, same as the rank of Shorinji Kempo? No, they're all different. Okay? Well, I already got my black belt. Well, black belt, the term, as many of the old senseis in Japanese would use, because black belt comes from Japan, doesn't come from China, doesn't come from Korea. The first ones that used the black belt to describe a level were the Japanese. Okay? A black belt was a beginner advanced student. Imagine that. Beginner advanced student. So that's basically where you start. That's why you have more dans in certain systems than you have colored belts. A lot of people don't know this about the coloring schematics. The color ranks came from the West, from Savat to Judo, and then onward from Judo to Karate, and then it evolved and it spun out of control. Why did that happen? Because in the 50s, it was a World Judo Savat Federation, right? That's why in Judo you have the term professor, because of that connection. That's the way it was explained to me by many people in Savat, from Roger Lafont to Christian Guillaume to my Professor Paturel to many, many. Marie Sadi as well, Viviani, everybody knew about this. Bob Alex also told me about that because of those connections. Now, let's talk about rank in schools. Now you have schools that have certain ranks apart from another school. Whatever you want to do in your own school, you can do, okay? Now, does a rank going to make me a better fighter? No. Usually, when you go from ranking upward, you have to have a sets of techniques, a sets of basics where you learn, you mature with them, you test proficiently, then you test for some other ones and onward down the line. There are some schools now, it's been around for at least 40 years, that are described as McDojos, where basically they would cater to parents and they would sell rank. That's good for their school. That doesn't mean that the kid's a fighter. That doesn't mean that the person's a fighter. It just means that that's the rank that he got at that school. To be a fighter, you have to do it every day. It's a lie if I tell you that if you come twice a week, I'll be lying to you. And what occurs is You come in and I tell you, you only need two times per week. Oh, really? And you're going to be proficient. No. You yourself have to take what you have in class and you have to train with it daily to become proficient, for you to have control and dominion over the techniques that you're learning, for you to move forward. That's the only way you're going to get good. Now people say, oh, there's no rankings in boxing. Of course there's rankings in boxing. If you just go to the gym and boxing gym and you never fight, never fought, you're ranked. Let me explain. If you go amateur, your first 10 bouts here, call it novice, and after 10 bouts, you're known as an open. Okay, USA Savat has that terminology as well. You have a novice and an open contender. Then, after that, then you have amateur and pro. There are different ranks of a boxer. Okay, different titles. Same thing goes to MMA and so on and so forth. Now, if you just go to the school and just work out and spar every so often, you're just there. You're not even ranked in the community of that combative sport. Now, here comes where it comes in. Then you have students that go to your school. Sometimes they pay one tuition, not pay another tuition. They'll come 1 month, then you don't see them for 9 months, and they come back and they'll train and they'll do whatever they want, and then they'll leave and come back 3-4 months later and train, and they'll ask a question to everybody, hey, how you doing? Oh, you're growing up, and they'll tell you, oh, I don't want to grow because I don't want to gain any more rank. I just want to stay where I'm at because I'm not proficient enough. Fine and dandy. You do not have to test for anything. Remember that. You do not have to test. Tests aren't forced upon. But those students that come in, the humble student, I call them, every so often you get them. I have a couple. The humble students come in and they'll tell the other guys, oh, you don't need to train. Just continue training. One day you'll get it. Then 4 or 5 years they come in, but when you tally up what they've actually been training, it's probably about 4 or 5 months. Then they'll say, I've been training here 7 years, but politics plays a role that they don't want me to gain any more rank. Or I'm so good they don't want to give me the rank. Nobody's going to give you anything. You have to earn it. Now, when you have individuals like that, they actually hinder the growth. And depending on the art, you have more of those humble students on the Oriental sides than you do in Savat, right? They'll get a certain rank and they will never go, they'll never progress, they'll never show up. They'll show up to train, they'll train proficiently for a month or two, then they'll leave, come back a year later. Oh, I love the school, I love this. This happens all the time. The humble student. So don't get into that track. Now here's talking about rank. How important is rank? It's important to you what you've done. Okay? Because that rank is yours. Nobody else's. And that rank should be given and awarded by a federation that has a backing. People say, well, why do you need a federation? A lot of federations out there. Check and see which ones are which. How far do they go? What association goes forward? Because that's a group of people that would bind it to give you your recognition. Everybody everybody belongs to, that is legitimate in something, to an association or to a federation. That's just the way it is. But you do not need rank to be proficient in terms of martial skills and skills for you to be able to defend yourself. Hopefully I cleared up some of these questions. So next time, you guys have much peace. God bless you guys, and then see y'all later.